Welcome to the Global Businesswomen's Pod, hosted by the Greater Houston Women's Chamber of Commerce. I am Susan Dyson and extremely excited to be your podcast host. In my day job, I am proud to be the CEO, President, and founder of the Chamber. Every Thursday at 6 p.m., we will bring you inspiring stories of women who are leading in the advancement of women and girls. We will take you with us to our premier events. You will meet entrepreneurs, executives, and philanthropists who will empower and inspire you to succeed. So please mark your calendars and join us for the Empowering Global Businesswomen's Pod, Thursday at 6 p.m. We are so excited to have Jillian Jopling with us today to share with us her journey and her challenges and successes. So Jillian, we'd love to hear your elevator speech. Just tell us a little bit more about you and something that maybe even might surprise us about you.
Okay, a little bit about myself is I am a 7th generation Texas, born and raised in San Antonio. I graduated from the University of Texas with a petroleum engineering degree. And then I have worked at Hilcorp Energy for my entire career. I got to start with them straight out of college and have been with them for almost 18 years since.
Great. Sorry, I got sidetracked there. So I know we all have things that we look back and say, gosh, I wish I had done this or that. But is there something specifically that you could think of that you would do differently in your career?
What I would do differently in my career is I was fortunate enough to get into a leadership role very early on. And while I truly love what I am doing today, coaching and mentoring people, occasionally I do miss being a reservoir engineer and getting to do the technical work. I always did really enjoy digging in and figuring out and solving technical problems. So I think at the end of the day, I might have chosen to stay a little bit longer and really embraced and enjoyed that opportunity.
Great answer. And I know we all have people that really helped us get where we are today and really were an influence on us. Can you share a mentor or a sponsor who really has helped shape your career? And also, we would love to hear a little bit about your mom and dad and what role they played in your career too as well.
I have had many mentors over the course of my career. I've been very fortunate in that aspect. Throughout my career, through all my different, throughout my professional development, whether from early on to technical to now in a leadership role, I was fortunate to have mentors all along the way, and also, mentors that teach you how to do things, mentors that also teach you what not to do as well. I've been fortunate enough to have both male and female mentors in oil and gas. Sometimes that's hard to come by, but each one has been able to support me and guide me, and I've been able to go back to them throughout my whole career and talk through some tough issues as those have come up. And then, as far as my mom and dad go, my dad was an architect and my mom was a math teacher. So they had a pretty big impact on my career because they both told me I could not do either one of those careers. I could not go into architecture and I could not go into teaching. But you can see, coming from a STEM family, engineering seemed to fit right in the middle there. And so I was they had a huge impact on me deciding to go into engineering.
That's great. I loved it yesterday when you shared that your mom would never believe where you were yesterday. So I loved always hearing the little behind the scenes thoughts. I know we all volunteer in the community. I know you have several organizations that you're passionate about. So could you share why you volunteer in the community and how it's helped you in your career?
Sure. I volunteer because I'm passionate about the city and this community. And I love being able to say that I've made a difference. Um, I want to leave the world a better place. My husband and I have given our time and our resources to many different organizations across the city and the state. We like supporting everything from women in STEM to the arts to governmental organizations, to history, you name it. We've probably supported it, and that has given me and us the opportunity to really find where our passions lie. I've worked with big organizations, small organizations, and what I've really found is that I really like supporting small organizations where I feel like I can have a bigger impact on their bottom line. We were blessed early in our lives to be a part and be able to help so many great organizations. And now I'm sure as we continue to grow, we'll continue to learn what we're passionate about, and that'll probably change over time. And we're just excited to be able to help and give back.
Oh, that's wonderful. I hope that he was going to join you at the conference. We'd love to meet him.
He will be there for at least part of it.
Oh, great. Good. And I know we would be here all day if we talked about all of your accomplishments, but I know there are some or a few accomplishments that you're especially proud of. Would you share those with us now?
Some of the accomplishments I'm most proud of is, early in my life, I did not take the easy road. I tended to make decisions that made my life a little bit harder than they needed to be. And so with that, I, went to 5 different universities and colleges, and then ultimately ended up at the University of Texas, where I graduated with my petroleum engineering degree. And I'm proud of this because I had to, work through college. I didn't have the means from parents or really very many scholarships or other organizations. So putting myself through school and ultimately getting that degree is one of the things that I am most proud of. Second, when you travel around a lot, you don't end up with a whole lot of friends and family support along the way. And so another thing I'm really proud of is now that I've made Houston a home, I have developed and created what I call my family. And I have a huge support network of friends that I can really rely on and, celebrate when things are good, but are there also to help me through when times are hard.
What would we do without our friends? That's amazing. Relationships are what make the world go round, as they say. And I know, too, we're seeing more women leaving the workplace, but yet re-entering entrepreneurship or some other career line. And then we have so many more women entering the workforce, out of college, out of high school. And what advice would you give to women that are re-entering the workforce or ones that are just starting their career?
The advice I'd give to anyone, but women especially, is to love yourself. It took me a really long time to really learn this, and I'm still learning this today. But once you do start to love yourself, kind of everything else gets out of your way. Detrimental relationships with, food, alcohol, drugs, money, people. Once you really start to love yourself, all of that kind of fades away. And then what you're left with is kind of an unencumbered you that can achieve anything.
That's great advice. That's worth quoting maybe on our website. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. And I know that we all think about how we want to be remembered and maybe what our legacy is going to be. Share with us how you would want to be remembered and what you are striving your legacy to be.
Sure. I would like my legacy to be defined as the people that I've touched all along the way, both professionally and personally, through inclusivity, my giving, leading, mentoring, I hope to impact others for the better. And I hope to eventually pay it, and I hope that they eventually pay it forward. And I strive to leave our community and people better than when I found them.
I know there's a piece of advice that I always try to share with my grandchildren, especially my friends too, as well. But when you're looking for a mate, to live out your life with, how important it is, to find the right one. It sounds like you did, but what traits do you look for, or did you look for, in a man, and what advice would you give to women that are on the dating scene right now?
What I looked for when I was dating was really was looking for someone who complimented me, and then ultimately someone who would be willing to change and compromise. We're not all perfect the way we are, and when we come together in relationships, really, I believe teamwork is what it takes to make any long-term relationship successful. So everyone in the team has to be willing to work together, to compromise, to change when necessary. So I guess I was really looking for someone who was a match to me, but also willing to be on the same team with me.
Congratulations on finding that person. That's great. And I know there are so many adjectives that would describe you, Jillian, but would you share with us one word you think that best describes you as a breakthrough woman?
I have a story about the one word that best describes me. And before my husband and I got married, our pastor asked each of us separately to pick one word to describe the other. And then in our wedding ceremony, the pastor told everyone what our words were, and neither one of us knew what the other's was. And then he's about to tell everyone, or he tells everyone, what Peter's word for me is, and it was infectious. And of course, I turned bright red. Their laughter filled the room. Because the first definition that we all think of as infectious is, diseases and medical, but really infectious is likely to spread or influence other in a rapid manner is the second definition of infectious. And, as I mentioned in my legacy, really that is what I want to be. And I want to be able to influence and touch people's lives and make the world a better place.
Thank you for watching the Global Businesswomen's Pod, brought to you by the Greater Houston Women's Chamber of Commerce. We cannot wait to see you next Thursday at 6 p.m. And remember, you can always find us at GHWCC.org.